Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. It's that time of the week again. It's Premier League predictions time. Another round of exciting and intriguing Premier League encounters are almost upon us once again for this weekend. And of course, this is the video where I talk about each and every single game, analyse it, and of course, attempt to predict the outcomes of each and every single said game in England's top flight division. Before we get into all of that though, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And I also encourage each and every single one of you to get involved in the comment section down below. Use and abuse that section, people. Talk to me on the games that are coming up this weekend, whether it be your thoughts, comments, opinions, feelings, but most of all, of course, I want to see your predictions, because after all, people, where would a Premier League predictions video be after all without predictions? Sound good? Great. Let's kick things off then, shall we? Let's start with Friday night's game. There is a Friday night game this week, so FPL managers, make sure you are getting your teams in order for the kickoff of the weekend, which is a West Midlands derby. Wolverhampton Wanderers, rock bottom of the table, are taking on Aston Villa at Molineux, and I've gone with a 2-1 victory in favour of Champions League chasing Aston Villa. Look, Molineux at home, it could be tricky for Villa to navigate. Even if Wolves are bottom of the league, we know that against some of the bigger teams this season, Wolves tend to have given them a bit of a run for their own money. In certain games, may not have always got the results that they desire, but they have certainly given some of the tougher teams in the league a tough game, and especially in this kind of capacity, in this kind of atmosphere, Friday night, under the lights at Molineux. Pride on the line, if anything. We know that Wolves are pretty much down and out for the count as far as what their Premier League status is concerned. It is very unlikely that they're going to pull off some sort of late great escape. But with 1 point separating them from the worst Premier League tally of all time, with bragging rights being on the line, pride being on the line in a derby of sorts, you can probably expect Wolves to maybe turn it up just a few extra notches on the performance on Friday night, and that is why I think Villa should be careful coming into this one. This is a banana skin waiting to happen, but if Unai Emery's side are on it from the start, if they are smart and if they are professional above all else, they will certainly get the win that they so desire to obviously steer clear for at least another weekend of the competition that is behind them, in the likes of Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, that are gunning them down. So I'm going with Aston Villa to win, but again, not a foregone conclusion, especially in a derby like this. Next up, we go off to the Vitality Stadium, where Bournemouth are going to be taking on Sunderland. I've gone with a 1-1 draw. Results have kind of fallen off a little bit for Sunderland these past few weeks. Maybe the Premier League is catching up to them a little bit. Maybe it is about fatigue, tiredness. I don't know, but they haven't quite got the results that they so desired and got at the beginning of the season. Should be enough to keep them up, though, the first half of the season performance. So they'll be probably fine in general. But it is worth noting that they are coming into this one in a bit of off form as compared to what we're used to seeing them at the first half of the season. And as for Bournemouth, again, they have the capacity to turn it on when it matters most. They should be coming into this one as favourites, being the home side. They should be coming into this one smelling blood, so to speak, on a Sunderland side that aren't quite fully at the races right now. So this one could be a very intriguing game. I've gone 1-1. I've gone for a draw. I've gone for the points to be shared, because I think even though Sunderland aren't quite fully there, they are still a very dangerous side if you underestimate them. And of course, Bournemouth, like I say, hot and cold, somewhat inconsistent. I think the points to be shared here is what is going to happen. Next up, we are at Turf Moor for Burnley's game against Brentford, and I've gone 2-1 to Brentford. Now, Brentford suffered a bit of a shock defeat last time out to Brighton. in a game in which I think a lot of people probably went Brentford to win, especially with Brentford being at home. Burnley, they couldn't make they couldn't back up their victory they picked up a couple of weeks ago with a back-to-back victory. They are similar to Wolves, seemingly down and out for the count as far as their Premier League status is concerned. It does seem very unlikely that they are going to survive, and a lot of people are counting them as being relegated before the official confirmation has come through on that. And this, I think, will just only add to that, in my opinion. I think Brentford will get back to winning ways in this game. I think Brentford will be fine in this one. And I think Brentford will get the victory that they desire, get back to winning ways. And I think the Bees will get all 3 points. All 3 points, and maintain or build up that stronghold again towards attempting a European football place for next season. As for Burnley, look, it's never a foregone conclusion, this. But they need to take their chances when it matters most. That's one of their Achilles heels this season. And they need to stop leaking stupid goals. Whether that's going to happen in this game or not, I doubt it. I think Brentford will be smart. Brentford will be strong defensively for the most part. And attacking-wise, I think they'll have enough to get across that finish line and win the game. Next up, we're off to Anfield for Liverpool's game against West Ham, and I've gone with a 3-1 victory in favour of the Reds. We are going to be needing a better performance, though, than what we saw at Nottingham Forest last week. What we saw at Nottingham Forest last week was atrocious from Liverpool from start to finish, but by some way, somehow, the Reds managed to get a victory over Vitor Pereira's side in bizarre, dramatic circumstances. That late last gasp effort from Alexis McAllister obviously won the game for Liverpool in the end, but Liverpool had to huff and puff their way to get there in that scenario. Here, West Ham have been actually picking up some good form in recent weeks, picking up some good points as they try to fight off relegation. They are breathing down the necks of the likes of Nottingham Forest and Tottenham. So they'll have the bit between their teeth in this game to maybe go out there and cause an upset. And let's face it, West Ham have the capacity to do so. They have players that can cause harm to Liverpool's defence, but also Liverpool themselves haven't been playing that great this season, as we know and has been well documented over the course of the campaign. So West Ham should be fancying their chances in this one. But whether or not they'll get the job done, look, I don't think they will. I think Liverpool being at home, I think the home crowd, I think with the bit should be between their teeth as well in terms of tracking down and chasing down Champions League football. Chelsea, as we know, have got a very tough game this weekend, so Liverpool should be looking to take advantage of that. Man United's game isn't a foregone conclusion either, although you probably would expect United to pick up points in that one. So really, Liverpool should be looking at this game as being, we're the favourites here. We're also looking to make that advantage count over our rivals for those top 4, top 5 places. Liverpool should be getting the job done. And let's face it, with the likes of Hugo Ekitike, Mo Salah, Dominic Szoboszlai, we should definitely be making that advantage count. I'm going 3-1 Liverpool come the end of the game. Either way, Liverpool should be winning this. Next up, Saturday's evening fixture, I believe, comes from St James's Park, where... Oh no, I don't think this is the evening one, actually. 3 o'clock game. 3 o'clock game. For another 3 o'clock game on Saturday sees St James's Park host Newcastle versus Everton, and I've gone with a 3-1 win to Newcastle. Now, this is more about Newcastle's home form than anything else. Everton hit and miss, hot and cold. We know the inconsistencies of Everton Football Club over the course of the season. Newcastle, we know that they haven't exactly been consistent either, but I am backing them purely based on their home form that they have picked up in recent weeks. Their home form has been decent. It has been recovered, it seems, a little bit. Not completely, but a little bit. And That's why I'm going for a 3-1 win in favour of Newcastle. I think they'll get the job done. I think they've got the better players. I think that they've got a manager that seemingly knows how to get the job done at home. So that's what I am going for here. Everton, okay on the road this season, but again, you never know what Everton's side is going to turn up. You don't know whether it's going to be a side that is going to simply roll over for teams, or whether it's going to be a side that is actually going to be competing in the course of 90 minutes. So, hit and miss from an Everton point of view. More so reliable for Newcastle, but still never a foregone conclusion. Saturday's evening game comes from Ellen Road, where Manchester City will be travelling to face Leeds United, and I've gone with a 3-1 win in favour of City. Now, this game isn't going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. Ellen Road, Leeds United, hostile atmosphere, we know all of that. We also know that Daniel Farke in the past few weeks, past few months, has really got hold of this Leeds United team and rallied them together to obviously put themselves in a very good position to maybe steer clear and fight off relegation. Something that not a lot of people, including myself, were backing them to do come the beginning of the campaign. They're in a good position right now, Leeds. They're not the best, but they're not in the worst position either. This game is a free swing. It's a free hit. I don't necessarily like using that kind of phrase, but there's no fear here. Everyone's expecting City to probably go on and get the victory, get the win. However, we know that Leeds have given some of the tougher teams in the league a good run for their money. Barring maybe Arsenal, they've taken points off the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, and so on and so forth. City, as much as obviously you would say City are the clear favourites here, they certainly can get something from this game, Leeds. They really can. But again, the pressure's on City. The pressure is on City, and the incentive and momentum should be with City more so. Tracking down Arsenal at the top of the table, having the advantage in their hands of the Premier League title as we currently know it, and the Premier League title race, City should be the ones that go on and win this game. So I'm going with City, I'm sticking with City, but I'm not expecting it to be completely all one-way traffic come the game at Ellen Road Saturday night. Moving on to Sunday's games, and first up we have got action from the Amex Stadium, where at the seaside, Brighton and Hove Albion will be hosting Nottingham Forest, and I've gone with a 1-1 draw. Usually this game throws up quite the intriguing encounter. I'm expecting it to be somewhat the same again, but maybe not for all the right reasons. These two teams have been very inconsistent. These two teams have been very awkward this season. Hit and miss for the most part. Brighton picked up a very good win last week, and despite a very good performance last week against Liverpool, Forest came up short and ended up going home empty-handed from their game at home. So I don't know what to expect from this, to be perfectly honest with you. Like I say, Brighton I might give the edge to because they're the home side. Forest, new manager, played decent against Liverpool, just could not take their chances in that game. If they've been working on their finishing all week in training, there is a good opportunity there to suggest that Forest will take all 3 points away from home this time around, especially because they need them. Being in that massive relegation battle, they can really put some pressure on Tottenham and West Ham going forward. I don't know. I just think a point is seemingly the likely result here. I don't know. This game is one of them that can go any which way. Very difficult to call. I'm going to call it down the middle. I'm going to go for a point apiece. I'm sticking with my gut instinct of a draw. I'm sticking with that. Next up, we're out to Craven Cottage for a London derby of sorts as Fulham host Tottenham, and I've gone with a 2-1 win to Fulham. Fulham, tricky at home. They always are. They always are. Coming into this game in some okay form, hit and miss a little bit, but for the most part, it's actually pretty decent for Fulham. They picked up some big points in recent weeks. Fair play and massive credit to Marco Silva for what has been a decent season for Fulham. One that's gone a little bit under the radar, but a decent season overall for a team that, in Fulham's situation, have been, like I said, just going under the radar, just going about their business. No one's really put a microscope on them. No one's really looked at them. I think they've gone about their business really, really well. As far as what Spurs are concerned, there should be alarm bells ringing. Should be alarm bells ringing for a big relegation dogfight that is going to be taking place this season for them. Look, it's not out of the realms of possibility for them to get something in this game. Igor Tudor has just walked through the door. His opening game was a 4-1 heavy, embarrassing, humiliating defeat to their North London rivals of Arsenal. It's not out of the realms of possibility for Tottenham to get something in this game, but being away from home, Fulham being at home, you'd probably give the backing to Fulham in this scenario. And that is what I'm doing in this situation. I'm giving Fulham the backing here. I'm giving Fulham the edge simply for the reason that they're at home and they're coming into this one in decent form. I think Fulham will get the job done. Heap more misery on Tottenham, and we're going to find out a lot more about Tottenham and their credentials for going into a relegation fight this season. So, Fulham 2, Tottenham 1 is what I'm going for here. The penultimate game on this list comes from Old Trafford, where Manchester United will take on Crystal Palace, and as you can see, I've gone with a 2-0 win in favour of Manchester United. Palace, like I say, coming into this game, poor form. I know they picked up a very, very good win last weekend. Big 3 points for Palace. But you can clearly tell that there are some issues there. They're not quite firing on all cylinders as best that they were earlier on in the campaign. There seems to be some turmoil and problems. It's a bit of a mess, it seems. From the outside looking in at Palace, it does seem a bit of a mess. Not only that as well, but they've got a big Europa Conference League game on Thursday before this game takes place. Obviously, this is being recorded before that game is being played, so we don't know the result yet, obviously. So that could be an extra big 90 minutes in the legs of some of those key players, especially if they take it seriously, which could play into Man United's hands. The extra game can provide momentum, but it's about how you rotate throughout that second game, because as we saw last week with Forest, they played the same team against Liverpool that they did in their Europa League game, and for the first 60 odd minutes or so it really worked. The momentum was there to carry on into the next game, but as you started to go through the game more and more, the intensity picked up, the tenacity picked up, the more the fatigue played on the legs of those players, the more they wilted as the game wore on, and the more and more that they lost momentum in that game because they had to make a number of changes and change a lot of things because that game midweek. This could obviously play into United's hands more, with obviously not having a midweek game. They played on Monday night against Everton. That extra 72 hours or so of rest could obviously work for them. This could be big for United. Especially with, like I say earlier, Liverpool playing against West Ham. You'd probably expect Liverpool to win. I know it's never a foregone conclusion with Liverpool this season especially, but you probably would expect Liverpool to win. So this would be a big opportunity to obviously maintain their stronghold over the Reds, and obviously with Villa playing on Friday as well, the result then could be telling as to whether or not United need to maintain their position or could potentially obviously do some damage towards Aston Villa and their league position by obviously leapfrogging them in the table, albeit potentially on goal difference or being 1 point behind should Villa get a draw. So, big opportunity for Man United this, one that I think they will take, especially under this new regime under Michael Carrick, which so far is so good. I'm going with United to win by 2-0. And finally, in what I believe to be the biggest game in this round of fixtures, the main event of this Premier League weekend. It is a London derby, a fierce London derby at that. That will play out at the Emirates Stadium as Arsenal take on Chelsea. And I have gone 3-2 to Arsenal. Now, of course, for those of you who know me, you'll know that I will want Chelsea to cause some damage to Arsenal. I wouldn't mind a draw in this one, considering A, it would again halt Arsenal's momentum, and B, it will cause Chelsea to drop points, which is good for Liverpool. And obviously, I don't really want Arsenal to win the league, so that would help on both accounts. However, I don't see Chelsea getting a win. And the only reason why I'm suggesting that Chelsea will score 2 goals is because Arsenal have it in them to make mistakes. Arsenal have it in them to make big errors. I think even in the game last week against Tottenham, I think if they were against a better side, I think they would have been punished on a couple of occasions. More so than what they actually were. Because they tend to make some errors. They tend to make some mistakes that certain teams need to and should be capitalising on, but don't. That's the only reason why I'm suggesting that Chelsea will get a couple of goals here. I think, for the most part, Chelsea will turn up in this game, because against the big teams, Chelsea's mentality is to go there and play, to go there and battle, to go there and cause problems for the opposition team. We've seen it time and time again. No matter who the opposition is, as long as it's a big opponent, Chelsea will turn up for these games. Chelsea's main problem is the teams that are below them. They're somewhat the more hit and miss inconsistencies of Chelsea's season that has been on display this campaign especially. So I'm not expecting Chelsea to simply turn up here, roll over, be passive. I'm expecting Chelsea to go for it in this game. I don't think they'll have enough to beat this Arsenal side. A draw could very much be likely, but I am expecting Arsenal to win. I'm expecting Arsenal to go there, and I think as the game wears on, take control more and more so. Like I said, I think Chelsea will hit them early. Arsenal will bounce back. Again, it'll probably be another mistake that allows Chelsea back into the game. But then Arsenal will seize control. Arsenal will take control of the game and suffocate Chelsea, kill the game off completely. And there will be the 3 points going to Arsenal. As I say, a draw is possible because Chelsea turn up in these big games. But I'm still backing my gut instinct. My gut instinct is that Arsenal will take control, and the only way that Chelsea will be allowed into the game is through Arsenal mistakes. Not entirely confident on that. I'm not entirely confident on that, but I think that will be the case going into the game at the Emirates on Sunday. Arsenal, big 3 points, especially when you consider that 24 hours before Manchester City will be playing Leeds United. So a big week for the Premier League title race this weekend. And there you have it. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That will make for great interesting reading, I'm sure, down there. So please do use and abuse that comment section, people. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way. I've enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and very greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Premier League predictions video. And I'll see and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very soon.